Principal of Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Let's all stand. Let's all stand this morning as we begin with Arty and invocation. Welcome to everybody who viewing all over. Uncle Navin from the Mauritius Islands. Welcome to our satsang this morning. It was wonderful talking with you. To Peter and his family from the Fiji Islands, it is a wonderful moment to share the satsang with you all. And I'm glad you and many others are able to tune in and to view us here in the West Indies. As we get going, everybody, put your hands together. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam deepam grahana devesham Trailokyatimirapaham.
Jai Jai Bhagwat Bhagwan Hai Arty. Papiyon ko paap se taarti. Jai Jai Bhagwat Bhagwan ki hai Arty. Papiyon ko paap Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Om. Let's pray together, everybody. Dear Lord, this morning, as we are about to enter into a discourse that shows how God comes to test us and place us sometimes in some very tricky positions and times and situations. Prabhu, Ved Vyas creates Bhagwat Puran to teach the lesson as if we are watching a movie. We have actors, we have good people, we have not so good people. We have examples, is what Parikshit wants to hear. As our discourse is growing towards Christian, as we are walking towards Christian, dear God, your devotees are listening and learning. This morning we are going to see how Lord Shiva comes to test even Sri Ram, even Christian, even human beings, how he does it. We'll get a little insight into his work, and we'll see an example of somebody who does well, who performs, who makes us proud. Let's pray together, everybody. Om Gajananam
Bhutaganari sevitam
Kapeta Jumbo
Palichara bhakshitam
Umasutam Sho
Kavinashikarakam
Namami Viganeshwara
Parabangajam
Sarvamangalamangaliye
Shive sarvate sarike
Sharanye
Trayambike gauri
Narayani
Namostute
Guru Brahma
Gurur Vishnu
Guru Devo
Maheshwara
Guru Sakshat
Param Brahma
Tasmai Shri
Guruve Namaha
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Everybody have a seat and make yourself comfortable. Sit down, do not. Last night, just to recap, again, if you're logging on later, Sitaram and cordial welcome to each and every one of you. Last night we did the Katha of Prahlad, Bhakta Prahlad, the coming of Narsingh Baba. And in it, we went into a depth that sometimes it shows how the human mind is. If I ask anybody, have you heard of Prahlad? Yes. I've heard that his father wanted to kill him. His aunt tried to burn him, hence we have something called Bhagwat. But why did his father try to kill him? What was going on? Did the father just reach to that? Did he try to coax him? They say that he has this love for Lord Vishnu. Could you describe to me what that means? And there's a little fuzzy thought there. We know he liked Lord Vishnu. But last night, we heard that when he was within the mother's womb, the enemies, the devatas, the enemies of his father had left the palace to go and pray for help and spiritual weapons. And the lady now, in this way, unprotected by the father, when the soldiers come, they said, we are going to destroy this unborn child, this next generation of this king. If this child is allowed to born, he will be like a continuation of Hiranyakashipu. He will be worse. He will be more powerful. Better we deal with this now. And Indra holds the sword ready to cut at the belly. And Narad Muni comes quickly by the hand of fate to say, no, you're looking at this wrong. If you want to damn and break your enemy, this is how you will do it. Don't cause shrap. Don't go and kill a woman. Don't go and kill a woman in the fullness of pregnancy. In the first night we heard when he destroys the Brahman, how he has to end up getting this amount of sin. He's always doing unrighteous things, sacrificing himself, getting himself in trouble, and the problem is what to do with the karma. So Narad Muni says, you just get in trouble, so ladies have this menstruation, so the sea come unfit when people have Gra Puja, or they have what we call in Trinidad 10 days, shaving the Dasgat. You can't go by the sea to bathe. Remember during COVID, when rivers were closed, you couldn't go by the river. So then we heard the Puran does say go in the temple, go at the peepal tree. It had other place, but it does not say go by the sea. And many people wondered, well, why? What's wrong with the sea? And it is when Indra says, I can't take the weight of this sin by myself. I will take 1/4. 1/4 will go for ladies, so they will become unclean for this period of time. The unclean goes to the sea with the suds, the foam on the water, making it unfit for worship. The earth will tote 1/4. There is where now from everywhere being lush, flourishing, and forest, there will become places that are barren. Let's say like a swamp where certain things can't grow. Let's say like a desert where certain things cannot grow. Where the soil, it could be surrounded by forest and secondary and primary growth, but it cannot foster certain type of growth because of the height of the land or the depth of the land below sea level. These types of places started to appear in the evolutionary time of the earth. He just get away from that. What you going to do? Kill a lady? And Narad Muni has to guide him quick. Don't do it. I will teach the child the correct thing. And when the child comes upon the earth by the wish of Lord Vishnu, he will be a counter force to the father, rather than a continuation of the father's legacy. So Prahlad is born, but Prahlad, whilst he was in the belly, Narad Muni was talking to the mother every day as a guru and was telling her about the features, just as you are listening to Bhagwat. And this Bhagwat is washing away the sins just by listening. Imagine the mother listening to the Katha, and she's talking to her baby. One day when you grow up, you'll get to see Lord Vishnu. You hear Padmanabhya, his eyes are like lotus flowers. His features, and describing the form, the different name. So she's talking to the baby and she says, babe, Antaryami. Antaryami, he's called the one who lives inside everybody, the dog, the lion, the human, every atom. For the school child that is studying atomic energy and the binding together of the different electrons and the different particles that give something liquid structure, gaseous structure, solid structure. The energy inside the nucleus is what we are talking about, Mahavishnu. The connectivity of covalent or ionic bonds that make them stick together, that is where we talk about Devi. The unseen Shakti that glues everything together. But to perceive that, for the typical person, is very difficult. Now we have different type of technology that could show children, okay, atoms come together to make water molecule. And they will understand it through the YouTube and the AI and all these different technological development. But understand that the world is now discovering AI and other instruments to teach. But the science of life was written long ago in our texts. When we think about time, when we think about the atomic energy, imagine when Oppenheimer makes the atomic bomb, he says, I become Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction. He refers to this energy that I took the atomic energy, and instead of making good, I have become Shiva, that when he dances, the same energy is used to destroy the universe. Death, mayhem, destruction is also possible. With this energy, it depends on your usage. Prahlad is taught, he's fed the information, and the unborn child is absorbing. His intellect is being filled with goodness, sattvic traits. And when he comes into the world, very, very easy, he looks for what he was listening to. His ears, we listened last night, what is he guilty of? The father is a king that is expanding like a politician, expanding his reach and realm. And he has 4 sons. Prahlad is the eldest brother. The other 3, Hadad and others, they are following big brother lead. And big brother doesn't worship the father, he worships the way of the Lord. And the father and him clash constantly. The father, he's guided by his ministers, try to talk to him and coax him. In the book it says he places him on his lap. And like a normal father, this man wasn't that bad or mad. But if you think about it, he's trying to get the child to do what he wants. And he says, please, what is your interest? What is good? What is the best idea? And he says, for me, the best idea is thinking about Lord Vishnu, listening to Lord Vishnu, talking to him. I find happiness in that, Dad. And of course, these things are irritating the father. He doesn't want to hear that. He is my enemy. He is the force that I oppose. Why are you supporting him? Look around. I am, because of how he prayed for his Ashirvad, his Vardhan, all the devatas become subservient to him. Sometimes you think he beats them. He didn't beat them with weapon, as we were taught. I forget the text where they put the Chepa Katha, Prem Sagar, Sukh Sagar. I think this is in Sukh Sagar, a text, where they embellish a little bit. But the original discourse says that how he beats the devatas wasn't by force. He beats them by the prayers that he prayed for. That all of them, all the devatas, everybody must become subservient, bow to him. When he speaks, nobody makes noise. As a politician, you want that control, that everybody listen. And he had that. Brahma, Shiva, everybody is quiet. And Indra goes, the only person that would give a hearing is Lord Vishnu. And he says, I know the trouble you're going through. Don't worry, when his son is of age, his son will be he will initiate, he will be the stimulus to bring an end to this game that is played. He tries, in Ramayana you come across something called Sam, Dham, Dhan, Bhed. It's a teaching technique to guide. Tulsidas is using it to guide parents. When you have teaching, when you have a method, a lesson to imbibe within your child, start by talking first. Babe, don't do that. Babe, I would like you to please wipe your mouth when you're eating, for example. Child didn't listen to that. Okay, dear parent, try a different method. Don't repeat the same thing. Don't be foolish and think, okay, I'm going to say, but this time it will work. Now is for stiff warning. Listen to me. You need to learn to wipe your mouth when you are finished eating. Do it correct, please. Now, it didn't work again. Try now bribery. Offer something this child wants or the person wants. People use it in management when you're working with people. I will give an incentive. I will give a commission. I will give a gift, a reward. When you hear people getting bonus at the end of the year, or little diary or a t-shirt or something for participating, meeting your goal. If you do this, I will give you this. If you are able to capture this contract, I will give you this promotion. A give and a get type of thing. That didn't work. All right. The last one is done. Our text says that is when you have consequence. If you do not listen, if you do not change your trajectory, I am going to get very stern. I am going to be a disciplinarian. In the case of the parent, this is where the licks share. This is where the teacher puts something in place. If you talk in my class again, you are going to write 500 words on the board. If you talk in my class again long ago, you'll get 2 whip in your hand. There was a consequence to bad behavior. But imagine in Kali Yuga, where the parent is blind. I don't know what to do. So, depending on the crime is being repeated, and the criminal is watching you and saying, well, all daddy just do is talk. Oh, he just talk. He got buffed twice. That's it. Our text say, just like what they say in the Christian Bible, don't spare the rod to spoil the child. In today's world, I was now talking with Anand. Anand works with an organization that does global charity and etc. From your organization, do not. We did how many service for children this year? This year I'm sitting with Oli and many others, and we are saying thank you, God. The secondary schools that we touched with books and outreach programs with AI, police, the court system, family court, went into these schools and started to talk to them. Please, if you want to have a career, Miss is sitting right there. If you want to have a career, the first day we was talking about when you kick your guru, kick your teacher, and then you want to come back and get the stamp for the passport. You want to get a recommendation letter. How are you going to do that? You've already broken that bridge. You've dammed your bridge. Further to that, when you want to have a good job, but you have a criminal side, you get help. Yesterday we were talking about becoming addicted to drugs or different type of substances. Today drugs is not drugs like in our time. Somebody told me, I was in the States reading, and they said cocaine. Who does that? Who does that now? And I felt very old because they said I old people drugs. I didn't know the codeine. The codeine is what they're looking for. The main ingredient in most of the cough syrup. They boil cough syrup and they get this thing. They boil out the water then. They run their normal procedure and they're making the drug. They want drugs that are made from tablets that you could go and buy in the pharmacy. We're hiding it for, uncle. It's normal. Mix this, mix that. There's more chemists than the chemists, you know. When we use proper methods to teach, you're going to end up with a better caliber of family. You're going to have an all-rounded person. But sometimes, if as parents, as pundit, as well-wishers of children, if you don't test them, if you only want to pet them and don't put them in a situation where they have to think or act, or let's just say, like how we had in the temple here, the Father's Day program. My own niece, very shy girl, she plays drum up here, but shy. Oh. You know, when she dealing with me, it's not pundit, you know. It's not guru, it's mamu. Mamu. Let the brother give the speech now. Let the brother, he go do it. He's a good boy, let him do it. If I go along with that, I am setting this child up for fail. Because the day she has to work in a group project, the day she have to present in a university class, the day she have to get a job, where you going to do? Let brother do it then. If I allow it to think, okay, girls, because they could smile plenty, could get away with that. If I tell her, okay, no problem, we'll get somebody else to do it. All happens here. I did not prepare you for the world. We had different doctors sitting in this crowd. We had different people. I don't care your accolade. I don't care your title. If you cannot cook food, something wrong. So you saw these children was getting up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and with a smile, not just do it like a slave pundit say to do it. I told them, what you want to do, that is what we're going to do. Some people came back and said, Pundit, but I feel like, give me nothing to do, man. It's jag, but like you had nothing going on. You had no work. You didn't call me and tell me to peel onion, cut up aloo, etc. You're accustomed when it's Bhagwat, there's so much of work. But the problem with that thought is that you are so exhausted, you are so frustrated sometimes with the work. Oh God, Jag, oh God, the praise, oh God, and Pundit calling me, oh God, what I going to do? But it's not really for me you're doing it. Everything you're preparing is for Christian. But with that way, yes, you're in the prayers, yes, you're making parasad, you're making the food for everybody to eat, but the way you're making it makes a difference. So I told, like my niece and my nephew and everybody else, you tell me what you want to do. I remember I was working with Blue Waters years ago, and I wanted a raise, do that. I was driving from home here to Piaco every day, and I felt, if this thing ain't making sense. So I told the director of production, I said, listen, I'm running this plant, and I'm running Pepsi, and come on. We had to do something with my salary. He says, no problem. You tell me what salary you want. What you want. And I what? You supposed to tell me. He says, no. If I give you $5 more now, you'll take it. By next week, it wouldn't be enough. Next month, it wouldn't be enough. If you want something, know what you want, and you get up and you work for it. You get it. Tell me, give you a target, and I'll give you this. I'll give you this, and you will meet it, and within yourself, you'll be very happy. God bless people when they could find a job that they love. And when you do that job and you help people, Anna and I envy your job every day. He works with the United Nations, and they help. They do all types of programs and outreach and everything. But arguably, the person dropping children to school, the people cooking food like in his school feeding program, and everyday children come and auntie, it have breakfast today. We're talking beyond race, beyond religion, and this person is giving these hungry children something to eat. That is a blessing. And everyday people live lives like that their job could be something. Yes, I get money, but I'm helping people. Have you ever come across a doubles person, whether male or female, that makes it their business? You see school children, when they come with the uniform, feed them. I don't need that one doubles. I don't need that seal. God bless me for that. I don't know if you do that in what you do. In everything that you do, there has to be a way it could become a blessing. It have to have a way. And if you look for it, you'll find it. The tests that we come across, sometimes it feels very difficult. If we go and we read Christian Katha, and you miss like what Prahlad is saying, he went and he tell them, he says, I feel just as I could see him when I get up in the morning. When I close my eyes and I could talk to him, I feel happy. You know, some people, when they go to prayers, is only complain. Some people don't see happiness in prayers, you know. And yes, I'm praying. But could it be you're praying wrong? Could it be my prayers could improve? There are some people, man, I remember when we were in India last, we went in the temple. They built this temple where Krishna was born. They built on that spot, this huge temple. And it's nice, you see, in concrete walls, empty space, and when they're walking through, this is where, you know, this entire Leela with the jail cell occurs. Nice, no problem. When you walk out and you come around, the sweetest Hare Krishna chanting. In a way, I cannot explain it for you. Sunday morning, we will have Hare Krishna chanting and raising the vibration. I hope everybody could come. Imagine my idea of prayers is I get maybe a psychiatrist ears in the Murti, and I come to complain. You see how he does talk? If I hate my husband, oh God, if I fed up at his job, all right, lose the job. Oh God, where I will get my next dollar? Everything, 1 minute is a blessing. If you give me the job, Mr. Do Not, I will come every day to work. Oh God, thank you. Then, you see, Do Not, he could pay me. You see how much work I just do here? The same thing you was grateful for, you just start to damn it, you know. The human being is so technical. What you're happy now, you start to complain and make it a problem and criticize just after. It is as if contentment don't last long at all. You get a house. Let me say housing, HDC, give you a house. God bless you. Now the house too small. The color of the house. It's as if you could never find peace. It is never enough. Now, me are saying, let your place fall to shambles. No. But within the moment you are sitting and you're looking at your house, maybe the roof need changing, maybe the walls need painting. But in it, think about all the memories, all the different marks when children run through your house. When Arty, two children, the twin, oh God, when they get a pen at that head height right through the wall, the cream, and then it was red. We asked the boy, you do that? Yes, ma'am, I do that one. You know, we might get vexed in that moment. You know, 5 years pass. Look how cute that is, eh? Don't paint over that line. Leave that line right there. We know what that line represents. Sometimes what could be a bother now might turn out to be a blessing later. I remember when you go back out the street on the Hindustan Road right there, there was this little girl and she had a heart problem. And we had just done, if I remember correct, we had just done Navratri Puja. I finished the prayers and I went to do another prayers. And I get a call, Pundit, the little girl died. The people now put up the flag. They now share a little food. Imagine yourself. But they know she did have a condition, in all fairness. It was a ticking time bomb. Praying people. But think about that moment. Rough funeral for me, because to do a funeral with a child, where you going and say? But the parents surprised me. Crying and everything, you could see it. But you know what, Pandit? The doctor did tell me 5 years ago that it was imminent. Because of how the heart is. This death was coming. And we get a little extra time. We get to prepare. We get to go Disney World. We get to show her some good. And I didn't know she mouth would have grown so hot, and she learned, you know, the organ, and we see that, we had that, and we are grateful for that. If I look at the death, yes, I will complain and cry and criticize. But if I look at the other angle of the same moment, I could see good in it. And I, in that moment as Pundit, couldn't believe that you as a parent could see it. And they held on to it, and we did the rites, and we did everything. And I feel them were stronger than people who are friends of the family. Because of the perception. Sometimes in our life, when tests and testing moment come, we fail. You go to God, you're calling on God, but if you're only complaining, if you could never find contentment within yourself, what kind of prayers you're going to have? This morning, let's talk about a fella named Durvasa, Rishi. Durvasa in some books. In Hindi, the ba and the va looks very identical. So you will see it interchange. Language in Hindi, funny. Depending on the region, you will hear Yagna and Yajna. The ja and the ga, they change it out. Ayodhya, Ayodhya. There are little words that they're like that. Durvasa Rishi, if somebody asks you, not Bhagwat, other text, I think Shivbran shows where Lord Shiva wants to come to assist in Ram Leela. He wants to come as Krishna Leela. So Lord Shiva incarnates, one of his incarnations is this high-tempered person, Durvasa Rishi. Durvasa Rishi comes upon the earth to only test people. You say you are a devotee of God, are coming by you. Let me see what you're going to do. One example, you know it. Remember that katha where Draupadi has the bowl with the food? And if everybody coming to eat, the food will never done. But if she eats for that day, food finish. Durvasa Rishi is sent by Duryodhan. Go, Yudhishthira live in. And he's a great person, sarcastically. Go and take all your God children, 1,000 of them now. Poor thing, they have food for themselves. Without warning, show up with these children. And Draupadi goes in the kitchen and she begs, Lord Krishna, help me, save me now. Krishna, help me. Krishna come, remember the story? Dig out one grain. You and me wouldn't eat that. Think what I'm saying. If you have the best pot home, and I remember thinking, but she didn't wash that pot very clean. If it had a rice grain stick up here, and you dig it out with your fingernail, you ever eat that rice grain? He eats it. And Durvasa Rishi in the water started to feel full, too full. And they bade him to come back by Yudhishthira's house to eat the world. And that same Durvasa says, all are we full, don't let me go back there. Let's leave. And they run away. Leaving Yudhishthira now without the shame of saying, Prabhu, we have food to feed you today. Durvasa in many examples brings this test. Another example, how did Sri Ram leave the world? When it was time for Sri Ram to go, Tulsidas Ramayana, Yamraj wants to come to see him, to remind him, your Leela is finished. Time for you to go. So Yamraj takes a form as a Brahman Pandit, and he goes in a little secret room with Sri Ram and he says, Prabhu, block this door. If somebody sees me in my true form, with the bison, with the big blue form, they will immediately die. But I want to talk to you whilst you're on the earth. Please give me an audience. No problem. Close the door, they go to talk, Yamraj and Sri Ram. And he puts Lakshman by the door. He says, guard here. And under no circumstance, no way let anybody come through that door. You will be the cause of their death. Okay, brother, no problem. Lakshman standing at the door. In the moment, Durvasa Rishi reached. I want to see the king now. Lakshman said, Muni, I am like the king. Anything you want, tell me and I'll give it to you right now. But you can't go inside with him. He's with someone. Knowing fully well, if Lakshman let him go in the room and he dies, he will be the cause of this Muni's death. So I don't want that. That will fall, that type of sin will fall on me and my children and my family. I don't want to cause harm to you. He says, if you don't let me in that room, I'll put a shrap on you. What to do now? If I don't let him go, he'll put a shrap. If I let him go, I will get a shrap. The test, watch it. Lakshman, by definition, is the one with a swift mind, quick decision. They start to think quickly. He says, it's better I go. Lakshman opens the door, walks in, sees Yamraj, and in the moment, it was time for him to die. Brother, Durvasa Rishi is waiting for you outside. Yamraj, see it disappear. Sri Ram starts to cry. You have to understand what this meant. Sita Mata is gone. She dies. She's leaving. Sri Ram was normal. His two sons, he puts them on the throne. Kush, he is the owner of what we now call Afghanistan and that entire block of land up there. Iran, Iraq, all of that belonged to Love. Love had all the lower lands. and they were married. The Kush had a daughter, the granddaughter of Sri Ram. All this is happening. The family is expanding. Lakshman's children started to get married, and everybody had their kingdom. But when Lakshman says, Prabhu, it is time for me to go, Lakshman has to die. When Lakshman is going to give up that form, it is now Ram starts to cry, I have to leave to him. I cannot live without you. Vishnu cannot be without his Sheshnag. And Lakshman again leaves first. Just like in Krishna Leela, when Balaram goes. Then Sri Ram starts to make what you call Ram Gita, where he speaks in the Surya River, and he explains to Jamant, you will stay, when I come, me and you will battle. You stay right here. He tells Hanuman, you stay right here, Chiranjeevi, live. That entire Leela happens after Durvasa triggers the laws of Lakshman. Lord Shiva hand again plain. Then come in Krishna Leela, another Durvasa Katha. He says, I want to test you, Krishna. You say that you will listen and adore all the Brahmin people, praying people, righteous people. I want to see if you could really stick to it. He says, anything I ask for, anything I tell you to do, you go listen? He says, yes. Myself and Rukmini, the queen, she will be tending to the home, and she will grant you so long as you're living here. Anything you want, you'll get it. And Durvasa Rishi, a follower of Lord Shiva, tends. Older people will know this. When you delve too deep into some of these texts, you start to lose your sanity. People start to go off. They start to speak to themselves. They start to get deep into this thing, and behavior does change. People who follow Lord Shiva strong starts to act in a way that me and you would not think it is decorum or with, some sense of proper etiquette. Durvasa started to do behavior like that. He would call her 2 o'clock in the morning and call for food, particular dishes. She would get his staff and go and cook the dish, bring the food. Did I tell you I want that? Throw down the food. Go and take feces and pelt her. Are you angry? You want to run me from your house? No. No, Panditji. Clean. Ask for this prayers to be set up. Come to do, Babaji, be ready for you. I'm not doing no prayers today. Truthfully, like a child. Good trouble. Then he tells you on the last day of the test, you and Krishna have to do our prayers. Okay, Baba. But to do that prayers, to get the optimum blessing, you have to take fermenti. Fermenti is when you take different oil, different water, and you mix it with gobar, and you rub it on your body. Cover your body with it. And there now, you're going to do this prayers. People do it when you are praying for in the womb, when your family have genetic disorder, and you want to make sure that genetic disorder from other generation don't come to harm this. You make sure and you coat your body with it, and you do the prayers. When they did the prayer and they covered their body head to toe, Rukmini is totally covered, but Krishna kept on his shoes, the slippers, and he coated his body. And when it was time for you to step out of the Yagna area, he took off the shoes, and Durvasa Rishi saw him. So imagine, the entire body is coated except for the foot. He says, oh Krishna, what did you do? I test you to see if you could bathe yourself in this thing to bless you. Let your whole body, wherever the fermenti, wherever the blessing of the Lakshmi in the Gobar is sitting on your body, let your body be adamantium. Let it be like no weapon could penetrate your body. But you see, that foot is your weakness now. Why you didn't listen when I was telling you to coat your entire body with the Gobar? Now, if somebody attacks you by your foot, you will not be able to stop it. Remember where the arrow hit? Hit the ankle, the charan of Krishna. And blood starts to squeeze out. That's where the peepar tree gets its power. Durvasa is the person who brings the test And when you survive the test, you get the reward. But the reward is very potent. Imagine in these examples, this is Lord Vishnu you're talking about. And Lord Shiva is testing even him. Who are you and I? Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. This morning we are going, chapter 4, Skand 9. Durvasa is at his test again. He hears that there's a Rajan who is very ardent in his Ekadasi birth. Nothing is going to cause him to give up his fasting. Now, for those people in the temple, we were talking about Ekadasi. Some people, well, you know about Ekadasi, on that day, I'm not going to eat grains. I'm not going to eat rice. But that is not all you're supposed. That is like the littlest part, the smallest part. The truth is when you start the fast and when you break the fast, has a little rule. When the Ekadasi you're fasting with it, and you must end your fast at the midday in the Dwadasi or the next day. You don't end it in the evening time like what some people do. You're fasting from morning to evening. That is not Ekadasi. You must go to the next day. So you get up fasting. You go to sleep fasting, get up fasting, and wait for the 12. Then to end your fast. But it have to finish in that section of the day. The entire day, 24 hours, is split into 8 portions. Yog, Lagan. And you're looking just as how when we do wedding, you have a time to finish. For example, this section of the day, you just want to finish, and you just hear when the people taking out food and they have shrad. I want to finish my prayers by 12. It have a little truth to that. That hour is auspicious. So I want that time to finish, lift the coconut and do the Purnahoti at that time. It is opportune for me to finish my prayers at that time. But let me go to a wedding where the person has Mangal Dosh. Mars in the birth chart is in the wrong place. They have to finish that wedding before that same 12 o'clock. It is not 12 o'clock on the market. It is roughly from 11:30 to 12:20 thereabout. It is shift by a couple of minutes depending on the day. So this is where, as I was saying before, you might see some people getting married 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. They are playing for a particular time. When people do the wedding in wrong time, this is what leads to shortened married life. Death, divorce, separation. Durvasa wants to go where this king is living, and he thinks to himself, I'm going to see what he will do. Let me test him. Before we do it, please put your hands together as we pray. We're going to hear about Durvasa Rishi again, and in doing it, the blessing that will come from it. Redhi Siddhi Data Siddhi Sadana Vadana Vadana Sumiro Varam Ganapati Kripanidhan Jnana Kani Ananda Bhavana Dehu Mori
Vardhan Varino Bhasha Bhagwat Jai Shivananda Khan Bhutanath Bhava Bhayaharana Bhakti Vishay Gauravarana Mangala Karana
Jai 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 Jagadisha Sevata Shesha Mahesha Cha
Mahimamita Beva Veer Veer Janat Nahe
Riddhi Siddhi Data
Siddhi Sadana Varana Vadana Sumiro Varambar Madana Kadana Ke Lal Ko
Sumiro Barambar Madana Kadana Ke Lal Ko. Raja Ambarisha is this king that is born to this family that is very illustrious. They are very... Sitaram. Sitaram. They are very trained in the art of using Vishnu's worship, his prasad, his time to gain and to maintain what they have gained. They are strong believers in worshipping Lord Vishnu on this thing called Ekadasi. When in history there was issue with his father, Nabhya, Sitaram. Nabhya, the father, is the youngest brother. And all his older brothers are fighting for their father, at that time their father, Sitaram, their property. And they say, you know what, we're not going to leave anything for the younger brother, youngest brother. Sitaram. You know what we're going to do with you? We're going to leave you our father, the physical individual, and that will be your inheritance. You take care of him. But in the taking care of him, remember, it's a lot of patience, it's a lot of work. Pa had a little mental problem to remember, so now with that dementia, he taking off the little diaper and he pelting it, he putting it, he do all kind of things. For people who have parents that reach at that stage, life becomes truly a test. This is my father, this is my mother, but when pampers and now you have dementia, you come here to thief my gold. Where you put my money? You only come here to take. And these are the people who are slaving to take care of you. But you cannot vex with them. They just don't have the cognitive sense to know right from wrong. Nonetheless, Nabhya says, my inheritance is to take care of you. I am not going to abscond my duty. I am not going to throw you away. I am not going to displace you and send you somewhere. He says, I have no money, I have nothing, but I will take care of you. And when it so happened that there was a family that was doing their worship and they forgot how to do the prayer. They know it was coming, let me say like the wedding coming and you have to go for Mati Corona, but how you just do that again? Tanti could come and tell me where to put and what to put in the tray. I can't remember. For example, he says, son, the father tells Nabhya on a day when he had maybe a better day, he was able to talk sensible. He says, go and guide them and show them what is to be done. And if you do it, maybe they would show grace and give you a gift and we'll get food to eat. When he went and he showed them what and how, what it was they were doing, the people were praying to give up all their responsibilities. They were preparing for their final journey. And they take off all their jewelry, they take all the property, and says, you were so kind to us, this belongs to you. And they hand over a lot of things, a lot of property, money, all these things to them. And as he was about to get all these gifts, Lord Shiva appears and he says, Sita, that all this wealth you're taking my wealth. This is mine, nature, have it, all of this to me. And what is offered to Shiva cannot be shared. Nabhya, in that moment, he says, Prabhu, if this is yours, I did not know, but I have no argument with you. I'm not going to fight you for what you have. The only thing I hold is my father. The only thing I am responsible for, the only thing I truly own is my Father. That is my obligation. I apologize for being in a place where it looks as if I am harping or hankering for what belongs to you. But dear Lord, I only want your blessing. And when Nabia did this, Lord Shiva, bless him, that because of your truthfulness, because of your attitude, may you please accept everything I just told you is mine, and I'm giving it to you. Please accept it. And as time passed, Nabia he had a son, Ambarisha, a strong devotee of Lord Vishnu. He practices the prayer that this family has, but now they are kingly people. With the amount of gold and gift that he received through the Father, they have workers, they have field workers, they have all types of things to maintain. And everybody loves Ambarisha. And this is where Durvasa wants to come to test this Ambarisha. What will he do? How will he be able to manage his vrat if I test him with this Ekadasi? Let's hear what happens. Guru Shiva Om Shakti Om Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah.
Narayanaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
Vasudeva Bhagwati Shakti Sho Cha Sadhusho Prapyatam Bhavama Param Vishwayena Losha Katay Mritaye Arty. Narayanaya Krishnaya
Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
Prabhu, I bow to you, I hold you, I depend on you. Sukdev Goswami says this is how Raja Ambarisha would pray on a daily basis. And he maintains this devotion from every plot of earth to every person that he rules over. He saw Lord Krishna in their heart and mind, and he would adjudicate, he would delegate, he would do whatsoever to help the people, give them training, give them knowledge so that they could help themselves, build themselves, do for themselves. He is engaged mentally, whatever he is doing, Krishna Arpan. He is engaged walking, and he would be singing to Lord Krishna. His hands are always in his service. His hands are always used to wipe and clean the temple of Lord Vishnu. He understands when you do that seva by wiping that murti or serving that murti with little offerings of leaves and flowers, that the duty of the person becomes very simple. He practices Shravanam, or the sense of hearing. He always has an interest in the listening of the imperishable Lord. He wants to go and use his eyes in darshanam, and daily would visit the mandir, the places where the murtis, his worship of Mukunda is being done. In this way, he even greets the devotees, the people that are fasting for the Ekadasi, people who are doing Krishna or Vishnu's worship. He would make it his business. Although king, although rich, he would come down from the pillar of heights of his position and hug them, greet them, receive them. He enjoys smelling the tulsi leaves, and he's dedicated to the feet of good and godly people. He used his feet to walk around holy places hallowed by the footprint of Lord Vishnu in case of a person living in India. But where there's a shaligram, he goes there. Where there are humble people doing worship, where the Mohan Bhog is being created, he goes there. He wants to go and involve himself in the preparation for God's worship. And this is the person that was ruling at the time. That in his worship, in his prayer, it was regular, it was daily. Let's hear what happens. Yasya kritusho girvano Sadarisha jo janahatal Rupa cha nimiyayate Bhadriyena sadhutam Narayanaya
Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
When he had prayers, he would, in every session of these prayers, he would make sure and wash the foot of all the Brahman. And he would take the water and sprinkle it around his property, his house. He knew that the power of the Gayatri allows the person who chants the Gayatri, who is doing the prayer, the Ritvik, the Hotri, those Pandits, their feet have value. And I'm going to wash their feet. So when people have different problem in your house, bring your Baba and wash your foot. Just as this Yagna is happening, it is for your benefit. Wash their feet, catch some of the water, put it in a bottle, carry it home, and use it in your home to benefit you. Why? Because of the power, not so much of the person, but the person is using the prayer of the Gayatri on a regular basis, and that gives blessings. Constantly he wants to listen on a regular basis. He wants to listen to discourses about Lord Krishna and Lord Vishnu, and he is happy. He's heard it a million times, but every time he hears it, he hears, he thinks, he interprets different, and he enjoys it as if it is the first time he heard it. In this way, this king is on the road of devotion, combined with austerities and worship to Lord Vishnu, abiding by the ordained course of duty, acting accordingly with his age. He does what he has to do honestly, gradually disassociating himself from the different things that people get captured with. When he looks at his uncles, they were fighting for property and land. But he, although he's a king, whether he have it or he have it, it doesn't matter. He wants to give it away. He wants to help other people. He doesn't hold the view that this is my palace. He says this palace belongs to my son. The queen, she's the owner of the son. The son is the owner of the queen. And in this way, he does not say my wife. He says your mother. So there's no I and mine in his language. He finds the people's purse. And in this way, he maintained the discipline of his language even, that he did not want to deviate, that I don't want to become polluted because of my eyes seeing what I have today. Just as we heard in the front discourse, he is aware that one day all these things, the chariot, the land, the elephant, I have to leave it right here. I didn't make it, I didn't have it, it was my father's one, and this will be my son's one. I am just a caretaker. Me and you sometimes get tied up with that. We name have to be on the deed. We have to own it. But the truth is we own. You are just holding it gently for now, until one day you will pass it on. And what you cherish and hold and you're doing like you're stifling it. They tell you in Gurdwaran in Kali Yuga, what you take a life to build, children will take a week to spend. And other people will enjoy it, discard it, throw it away. But this guy is living this discipline. He doesn't want to fall in that trap. That is my son's palace. This is my son's jurisdiction. He's really the king. I'm just holding his crown until he grows up. Vanti te kartikye masa tritaye sampujan pausha snana kadichit tvailekha hari madhu Madhusudanayate.
नारायणाय कृष्णाय परमात्माय नमो नमः नारायणाय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः
This person is practicing the regular worship besides how he thinks and how he talks. That his prayer is part of his vocabulary. The Ekadasi in this one moment was coming when Durvasa wants to test him. And he begins the fast in the correct time. And he's calmly doing his worship. And then he went to feed animals in the jurisdiction. He made sure he fed dog, he fed bird, he fed fish. And he's doing his job quietly, not allowing people to perturb. There are some people, when it have prayers, when you're trying to do your fasting, that is the time, oh my God, that is the time everybody coming to test you. Everybody coming to take your peace of mind. Somebody going to cause you to say things. Somebody going to cause you to think things. Somebody going to cause you to do things. The morning for your prayers, there's a lot of tests happening. Check it back. That is the time you can't find the particular basin. The bamboo where it's, the food they done cook. Where did Ansar Masala auntie? I will always say, in a family, the man somehow just end up doing the better prayers. He go find God first. Put husband and wife next to each other to do puja. And the husband watching the puja, so he want that prayers to finish fast. Pandit, come on, let's go. He's more focused than anybody else in that audience. Let's do this prayers and let's finish now. Tanti, on the other hand, oh, you reach the basin up there, the cup over there. But the last thing in that lady eye is this prayers. The focus sometimes is not the puja. This person is very peaceful, very calm. Nobody is able to rob him of that solace. I am offering the Lord Vishnu. The manbog is important, the flowers is important, but most important is me. How could I come to offer to him? And we all know what I'm saying. It is happened. You just be so angry sometimes. You just be so vexed sometimes, and then boom, you're in praise. Now it's time to offer. But am I at my best? Am I at my most contented or most happiest to sit in front of him, to get to do Vishnu's puja? My day, my prayers reach. I was waiting for this prayer so long. Think back about today we see now in the temple. Last night we eating. Just now we will get to eat in the temple. When was COVID? And people was calling, Ms. Lakshman, I want to come in the temple. I want this Shivratri. Don't we are going to tell nobody. Let me break the rule now. Remember we talk about the law of the land. You have to respect the law. What sense it come at doing Shiv worship and offering marijuana and breaking the protocol for the pandemic and doing the prayers? But the law says don't come, don't gather. So as a pundit, we had to listen. The law is the law. When all this time passing, no yag, everything online. Remember how you feel? I wish I could have come and smell the hawan. I wish I could have come and eat the food. I wish I could have come and be together with people. I miss it. And then boom, it finished. And you get to come. The first time you went, whether here or somewhere else, you get to go outside, you receive the prasad, you feel the oil, you smell the ghee, you touch it to your head, oh God, I'm feeling good. I get the food, that goodness, that happiness, that gratitude. You had it then, but sometimes it is lost it, boy. Sometimes it becomes so hard to do the same prayers that you once valued, you was grieving for it. This man is very aware that in a moment's notice, I could lose the opportunity to worship Lord Vishnu. For one entire year, month after month, he does 2 Ekadasi, one in the bright half, one in the dark half in every month. And he keeps up his Ekadasi Brat. If Adig Mass comes, if Purushottam Mass comes, he celebrates more. Because only foolish people, foolish, very limited karmic-wise, do not read or try to understand the workings of God. They take people hearsay. and they work with that. And in our Dharma in Trinidad, as people who are disconnected from India, there are many examples where we get it wrong. There are many examples. For example, somebody says you love to do Durga Puja, fine. Why you put clove in the Lapsiani Sahari? Me, I know, I see them just do it so I just do it. Why we just offer the coconut in the fire? I don't know. I see them just do it, so I just do it. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know the benefit. When you sit in front of your God that you was fasting and waiting for, wait, just tell him. They tell me to put this, so here. I don't know what it's for. I never talked to you. So, remember what's in there? Remember what this stupid pundit telling you? The clove is a spice, and it have a lot of heat in it. Put it in your tongue, you will see what I say. So I'm offering the Durga Mata clove. We unchain children with clove. We put it in the dar clove. We burn it in the hawan. It is bidya in the tariya clove. When you use it, dear God, how I give is so I get. I am giving you it, please, in this house, in this marriage with these children. If it have a moment of anger, corruption, quarreling, vexing, friction, take away, as I am giving this heated thing, take away the heat. Take away the heat. I don't want the argument to continue. This man is beginning on too much. Take that clove with the flowers in it, dip it in honey, and offer it in Hawan with Durga mantra. And in the marriage where there's violence, you'll see it start to calm down. The same warring warrior, the same Zina in that house, they start to calm down. And you go here, you see when we did now married, that was Rambo boy. But he cooled down now, he getting old, he cooling down, he timmering down. But that don't just happen so. That is come with praise. This is a man who understands the value of doing prayer correct. Let's hear what happened. Mahibisha Vishwayata Sarve Pushtak Parayatam Amisha Vishnave Durvasa Anina Vishwayatam Narayanaya Krishnaya
Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
He would make sure when he's doing his Vishnu worship, he does not wear the gold. He does not wear. You ever see how people dress simple for prayer? Very simple. That is the correct way to wear, to dress for praise. Some people get it wrong. Why you wear white? White clothing is white, has all the colors in it. We use colors to charge. Why we decorate with certain colors? You don't see blue. Puran tell you, Lord Shiva says, I reserve blue for things that are illusionary. The blue sky, the blue sea, you go in it, they have no blue. So it does not make sense. He says it is not appropriate to wear blue when doing worship or you're doing your dhyan, meditation. It will not give you the energy, the potency that you're looking for. The person is trying to charge the body. Let the light hit the color and let it reverberate in you. This is where we get the idea. I want to wear red for Hanuman's day. When you are doing puja and I'm wearing white, white absorb all the light and it's bringing that energy to you. When the person is wearing gems on their hand, let the solar energy hit the gem. And according to the science, the gemologist science, let it magnify the rays, shoot into the finger. And we just use right hand ring finger, chandan, sindur, saffron coming out. This finger has a little more blood through the vein that runs to the heart. So the person is putting from my heart, dear God, that is why this finger is favored. Let the energy of that stone, that gem, change my aura and my bad, my weakness, the tendency for somebody who has kalsarabdosh to only study dream. Snake, afraid snake, I only getting bite by snake. Break it. I have bad luck. Break it by wearing capsai, gomade on their right hand ring finger. When you know what to do, you could use it to get optimum blessing. This is why when somebody is doing prayers, they don't wear too much gold. I wear this for a reason. When you're offering, watching movies and the people just take off all the shimmer, There's a reason for it. The gold has the Kaliyug in it. Remember what we talk about? He told him, you live here. So if, like Parikshit, I am wearing a lot of adornment and I am preparing to fast and I'm preparing my mind and my body and my language to offer myself to the God, this may cause a problem. This is why, and think was saying, you would see when your grandmother was doing prayers and Pandit Sunil come to put the ring on their hand and they have to take off this ring. But it wasn't the kush grass that was the problem. It was what this would do with your mind. So correct way when you are dressing for prayers like this guy, take off all the crown. Nobody had to see this. You are getting ready for Vishnu. Present yourself like how you come in the world. You come with adornment. You come with all the fancy stuff. Who are you dressing up for? Think what I'm saying. Are you showing your mind? Who are you presenting yourself for? Who you want to advertise? The bandit? I have to show people I have gold. With an attitude of humility and focused resolution, I am ready, because this could cause a distraction because of what is in it. This is why people fuss over it. This is why people fight over it. Who knows this said ring? My nephew and my niece might want to kill each other over it. Today's adornment, tomorrow is friction in a family. This same thing has so much trouble in it. You want to wear this and you going to talk to he, you know what you come to do then. This guy, Ambarisha, takes off the crown. He takes off all the bearer. He takes off all the ring and he says, you know what? This is not the moment for that. This is not the close for that. I am now preparing myself for God. These are not the thoughts, the words for that time. I want to better myself. So I must be very honest and very simple, very humble for my God. And when I go before Him and I sit there, I have to be very honest, but honesty starts with you. You cannot dress and try to fool people at doing the best prayers, but are trying to win the allure, are trying to show people opulence. I am trying to show you what I have. Then you're trying to show somebody something. You're on display. You are studying where you come to say. That is not your focus. So when you're going to do your prayers, think about the message you're sending. That even if this was blessed, even if it was the married ring, you will hear ladies say, let me take off this wedding ring. In the moment I am going to offer myself to God. This is why. Please remember it. He says for the whole year, Ekadasi, he's doing it. He would dress himself properly. He would prepare to do the Maha Abhishekam of the Shaligram. And he's going to do flowers, different types of wood, different types of bark, different types of berries, fruits that are in season. These things are being offered. He would feed cows. He would give things in dawn. And on this particular day, Durvasa Rishi reads Sitaram. Tasya tirata Durvasa, Tasya tirata Durvasa, Durvasa Bhagwan Mukta, Bhutati Tamaye Chitta, Titi Paraye Naye Ato, Narayanaya Krishnaya. Come on everybody, we nearly finished. Yena Mahayatam Paramula Mukyaye Gaha Pratinanda Pratya Puravan Sudarshanayate Narayanaya Krishnaya
Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
Durvasa Rishi reach, meeting this person fasting. He say, you're fasting? Yes. He said, okay, I'm going to bathe, going in the river down the road. And when I finish off my turban, my hawan, my jap, understand that takes time. Then I'm going to come back and we'll have meal together. Wait for me. No problem, he's going. But Ambarisha realized that the time, the lagan for the breaking of the fast is coming. And Pandit not coming. Pandit are reaching. But he has to end this fast for a whole year doing this thing. I have to end this fast in the right time, in the right moment to get the blessing. I am not studying nobody. I want the blessing. I'm a God. I want to do it right. How could somebody interfere with the potency of my prayer? Then I am negligent. Then I am making a mistake. Ambarisha does not know what to do. If I break his words, if I break my promise to him, I will get trapped. If I break my word to my God, my Vishnu, and I don't end my fast in the right time, I will lose the merit of my prayer. He says, you know what? I told him, I will eat with him. I will not eat anything. So I will end my fast, but a sip of water, not food, not salt, nothing solid. So I am not breaking my word. I'm holding fast, but I have to complete my prayer. When a devotee, when a person come to pray, they don't play. They don't let people hold them back. You run out of flowers, you run out of this ingredient. That don't stop you. You pray, you push on, because just like this test will come. People will get vexed. People will get sick. Something is happening. Something is going wrong. Don't study that. That is God, nobody else. God, I want to see what you're going to do. I want to see if you're going to hold fast. I want to see if you're going to break, jib, stop. Better, you see this? Better I just give up. Better I stop this fast. Husband and wife fast, quarreling. Me, I go show you. I go show you. I'm going to break my fast now. Just to get back at you. What you do? It wasn't meant to get that blessing. God ain't ready for you yet. But sometimes when the test come harsh. As Durvasa Rishi reached back, he says, oh, you fool! What have you done? I told you to wait for me. But you broke your fast, you broke your word, and now you will get my strap. That same Lord Shiva, that same tester, the examiner, says all your wealth, all your family, all of it, you'll lose it. The king, Ambarisha, did not blink. He did not cry. He did not get trouble. He said, but I didn't break my word. I did not eat, but I had to keep my word to my God. What are you talking about? And that makes Durvasa Rishi more. You ever see somebody get vexed, but they're looking for justice? The way you get back vexed, the way you trip off, and you they calm, and that making them worse. It's more hurtful. How you could stay calm? How you could not get agitated? And they're waiting for some reaction out of you, and they're coming, and more they get vexed. You laughing at them, and they can't get satisfaction. They can't get it. You're not falling. You're not falling faith. Ambarisha says, Mahavishnu, save me now. In the depth of his heart, he calls for help. Let's hear what happens as help comes quick. Durvasa Yamuna Kulha Kritavaye Aghat Raghya Ambarisha Nanda Sutayaham Bobo Yidya Drishyate
Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
Ambarisha closes his eyes. He knows who he's talking to, ferocious temper, and he has the ability to put trap. Lord Vishnu, help me now, help me now, help me now. Simple words, but ardent feeling. Durvasa holds on to a lock of the jata that he has, and he pulls off a piece, and he says the mantra, blows in it, and he says, may a powerful boot, a powerful spirit inhabit this house and cause untold pain and suffering. May she cut you when you are sleeping, wake up with scrape marks and dig marks. Let your body suffer sickness, illness because of this transgression of yours. the spirit did take form. It is standing. She is holding two very sharp blades in her hand, and she is waiting to attack. But she cannot move because over the head of Ambarisha, the Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Vishnu appeared. The earth is feeling the spinning and the vibration of this form. Let's hear what happens. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Desho Nabhya Sheshatam Shama Shama Ye Samdhanita Rochana Rochana Ye Rutra Brahma Yado Bhavantite. O Narayanaya Krishnaya
Paramatmaya
Namo Namah.
Narayanaya Govindaya
Namo Namah. Mahavishnu is spinning over his head. When the dancer is doing different moves, when you see them doing like this, representing the Sudarshan Chakra of Lord Vishnu. Who gives Lord Vishnu that Sudarshan Chakra? That is a catch. The Sudarshan Chakra, that saw blade children that he's spinning in his hand, is the same, what our text is technical, is the same Lord Shiva who gives Lord Vishnu that Sudarshan Chakra to destroy a bad man. No. The Sudarshan Chakra is warning this incarnation. If you say Hanuman is a form of Lord Shiva, this Durvasa is a form of Lord Shiva. Don't come close to this devotee. It's like a spinning guard. It stays in one place, but if you step forward to him, it will destroy you, regardless to who you are. And Durvasa tells the spirit, move forward, charge. And that Sudarshan Chakra rips her in half. Now it starts to run behind Durvasa. For the first time, not when Ram, not when Krishna, none of them was there. Durvasa Rishi, so strong, so pompous, so angry. Now he has to humbly run. And he's running because this thing is chasing him endless without relent. He's going, he has to run by Brahma. He goes and he throws himself by the foot of Brahma. Please help me. The Sudarshan Chakra is coming and it is merciless. It is going to destroy me. Brahma says, I cannot stop that. That is Lord Vishnu. I am a molecule stuck together by his demand, by his wish. I grow from his body. How could I stop him? I am part of him. He says, go. You see that Sudarshan Chakra? Go by Lord Shiva. He will give him it. He could help you. Run again. He goes by the Kailash Parbat. He says, oh Durvasa, you are so stupid. You interfere with Vishnu, no problem. You check Krishna, you test Ram, no problem. He is so loving. He will forgive you. No problem. But do not interfere with the devotee of Vishnu. Vishnu says that I become a slave for that person who prays to me with purity. I become, when Vrinda, the one who did married to Shankachod, who would become Tulsi Devi. When he takes her husband, Shankachod, the person who, when they decapitate him, Lord Vishnu says, let his body become all these seashells, so we get the Shank from Shankachod. Vinda says, your heart is cold as a stone, Prabhu. My whole life I praying for my husband. Bless my husband. Bless my husband. Bless my husband. And today, you come to take my husband. Your heart don't have a heart. You have a stone. Go upon the earth and become a black stone. And you see, you make me leave my consort. Leave Lakshmi Mata and go on the earth and exist alone. And Lord Vishnu, becoming a slave for the devotee, because of the strength of that prayer, he says, I accept the shroud. I have no choice, I have to take it. Lord Shiva says, you don't understand the Vishnu or Durvasa. All the sense you have none. How could you see, you feel you are so powerful? but you interfere with the wrong person. Never go around that person who does that Shaligram Puja. Never go around the person who does that Ekadasi Brat. Vishnu will do his best. He will destroy anything that stands in the way of such a person. Please remember why I am reading this discourse. You have to understand the power of that Krishna. You have to understand the purifying power of your Bhagwat. When you listen to these discourses, understand what it wants from you. The transformation that have to happen inside of you before you present yourself for your God. How you think when you go to that God. And when you understand my role, understand what protection is coming for you when you stand up inside of your test, when you stand up and you're afraid what the doctor going to tell you on that blood report. Stand with that Sudarshan over your head, that whatever come, we will fight it, we will win it. When you have people who want to break in your place, when you have family who taking you to court, stop crying, stop wailing, stop being depressed, and get up and fight your battle. Just as how the same Christian tells Arjun, why are you so foolish? In first part of Gita, the Gandiva bow will Lord Shiva again give him, slips from his shoulder, and he loses all his power, all his ability. The whole Mahabharata done now. You fight for all this weapon, and now you have the weapon in your hand, but your shoulder gives up. Christian says, oh fool, pick up your weapon and fight. Pick up with all that you have, all where God give you, all that you have. Get up and fight with courage. Whether the test is what, never doubt the power of God is with you where you are and not where you perceive him to be in a murti or in a mandir. Don't think he's in India in Vrindavan. Don't get tied up. God is with you. And when you have that test in that moment, that chit that is telling you, you're going wrong, learn to listen to the God. Learn to listen to the guide. That Gita is happening inside of you on a daily basis. God, I don't know what to do here. God, I don't know how to fight this demon. I don't know how to face this meeting. I don't know how to send this email. I don't know how to talk to this child again. Whatever the test is, he is telling you because you have to do it. Some people feel God will come and fight my fight. Well, you sit down there and wait for that. Sri Ram didn't delegate his fight. He went on the battlefield and cried like man, and he showed you to fight. He did it. Why you can't do it? Follow his example. Gita says what great people do, ordinary people follow. Emulate. We learn by seeing. When you see how to make the man book, I could emulate it. I learn by seeing. When I see how my parents pray, I will emulate that. I will emulate by seeing. This is why the example you're following has to be a good example. Otherwise, you'll end up in real trouble. This son, Ambarisha, the benefit he is garnering and garnishing now with the Sudarshan spinning and racing behind this very powerful enemy. He puts his hands together, and the first thing he said, thank you for my father. My father is the one who taught me about this Ekadasi Brat. My father is the one who taught me how to pray to you, Lord Vishnu. I didn't know. I am not Prahlad. I didn't born with this information. I had to absorb it and learn it, and I watched this example of a parent that sacrificed and made it happen so that I could be better today in my testing moment. I am protected by you, but it is because my father opened the door for me. And so I am who I am. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah.
Narayanaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
Tato Nira Ye Durvasa Param Sparsya Bhagwat Etam Vaikundapati Shri Nabhya Shriyam Prashchit Yati Narayanaya Krishnaya
Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo.
Where could he go? Lord Shiva says, don't come by me. I cannot save you from that Sudarshan Chakra. When you interfere with a devotee of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, you are going to end up in a lot of trouble. Purer and stronger that person pray. Don't interfere with them. You with all your intelligence, you with all your knowledge and your high position and all these things, you are so foolish. People who pray over their food, people who dress themselves with God. God, sit on me. God, I'm going in that car. Go with me. People who have God with them, don't interfere with that. You do not know the level of pressure you are going to cause on yourself. When you know it have a saying, don't interfere with trouble until trouble you. This is a good example of that. He goes run right back to the same person you interfere with. You try to throw spirit on me, Pandit. You try to cause me harm. You try to cause me death. You try to take from me, and not only me, but my children too. And now we have to do the same. Pandit Durvasa has to rest his head by the foot, not of the God, but the devotee of Vishnu. When you meet somebody who is wearing that white ticker on their forehead, why you bow to them? Because you have that God activated in them. You are a walking example of that Vishnu. You are the walking example of the tenets of that Vishnu. So I could bend my head to such a person. You could be a child, you could be an elder, but Vishnu is living, he is practicing, he is jumping. In you, I could rest my head by you. When we were listening to the Katha with Ajamil is 88 years old, but not because somebody had gray hair or wrinkle mean you are fit to bless me. Not because you have more years mean you are good to bless me. When the person has the character, when the person has the dharma, when the person has the Vishnu and the worship, and that is working with them, let that person bless you. Then you go see the change. That person is a receptacle. I always touch in the murti, so I always offend in the havan. I always in worship. When that person say, God bless you, you go get through. What you will get? What it is, Lord Vishnu say, there is nothing hard for me to give. When he went now and he threw himself at the foot of Ambarisha, he says, my God is Kriparaj. Krishna is the God of forgiveness and mercy. I have no grouse with you. You was the aggressor. You was the one attacking me. I am happy to see you and I am happy to eat with you. Even now, what forgiveness I want. He says, go and ask my Lord. Maybe he could forgive you. Sudarshan Chakra still running. Puts himself in front of Vishnu's murti and Lord Vishnu appear. He says, understand, O Durvasa, you have your role, I have mine. He says, when somebody comes and the person prays with ardent feeling, with good nature, with good thinking, sattvic mind, sattvic speech, with faith, with love, and they control themselves. He says, what could I do? I become like a puppet and they are holding the strings. When they tell me come here in this house, I have to come. When they tell me go with me in the car, I have to go. When they tell me eat with me, I have to eat. What am I going to do? I'm helpless. I'm so in love with this person because they're so pure. I'm hopeless. Don't interfere with somebody who praying to me. I will helplessly have to stand and fight. And I will fight you for such a devotee, not one strand of hair. Let me read that part here. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya. Everybody.
Govindaya Namo.
ये विष्णु प्राणाय हे
नारायणाय कृष्णाय परमात्माय नमो नमः नारायणाय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः.
He says, my devotee, I become the supreme goal. They work to find, to reach, to hold, to touch me. That is their focus. And when they do it right, that righteous devotee, all the things, all the goal becomes useless. It's there. I have a house, but it have some people will boast about their house. And then it have some people, yeah, well, I have a house. You know how hard it is to paint the house? You want to come and help me paint the house? This house, this Sachin house. Sachin will take this. This is my son house. This is my nephew house. This is not mine. I just get to paint the wall for now. I see worker. When I had to maintain here, I just had to pressure wash, paint. You know what that is do? When we had to go prayers on it, and we going. We don't even get to cut the grass in the place. When you get it, maybe you're hungry for it. When you get it, what are you going and do again? Pray for the same thing. When you get it, then you start to pray for something else. I have a wood house, I want to get a concrete house. When I get concrete house, I have to tile the house. And so you go, you start to amass. But when you start to hold on to Vishnu, when you start to hold on to your Krishna, this cannot compare to that. Because then your vision, the buddhi you have here, the energy you have here, this starts to grow. It starts to expand. And for the person that holding on to childish things like gold, PlayStation, toys, just as a child, one day puts down the toy to get to work and to focus on other things. Naturally, the body could do that. Naturally, the person puts down this and say, man, when I was young, when I wasn't married, maybe I said dress up and I used to want to shave up and, to catch the girl eye. But when you reach our age, even the shaving become our work. Even to drive the car become a labor. Me, I want to drive. Me, I want to shave. Me, I want to dye the hair. Me, I want to cut the hair. Everything become labor. Me, I bother with that. Man, me, I bother. You want to paint the wall? Man, go ahead now, man. Paint the wall. Me, I bother with that. When I was young, I wanted to build the window. Me, I study that window again. And naturally the person is growing. And what I'm looking for, what I'm hungry for, like Narad Muni, who is going. I realize I'll be going from here shortly. That is the reality. I'm not here for long. I have to hold on to something that's real. This ain't going to help me. This is false advertising. You see this? This is false advertising. This is something to work towards. Children go to school, get a job, and you go buy where you want. Practice commercialism. Practice capitalism. Get it? And then what? What this doing for you for the rest of your life? The house, the bandit coming. The crook coming. This one go take it. That one go take it. This helping you. When you start to hook on to your Christian, we start to hook on to here. In we discourse, we touch here. Think about you. You ready for it? You still studying the ring. You still studying this. You sit to pray, God bless me our property, God bless me our land, God bless me our exam, God bless me our husband, God bless me our children. That's all you're praying for. God, I give you parasat, give me this. God is like a barter, is a deal. That's all you're doing. Take this and give me that. Take this and give me that. I only giving you it because I want that. When you're done give me it, I done praying. When I done pass the exam, you just go back and keep praying for the same exam. I done pass that. Me going and pray for that again. When you pass SCA, common entrance, you just go back to pray for that. No pundit. But when you know what you're praying for, and you get into the sweetness of Christian and Christian worship, Christian Leela, you can never get full. The right devotee is always willing to hear more, see more, willing to go from this temple to that temple. It have Bhagwat down the road, I'm going. It have this coming up, I'm going to sacrifice what? I'm going to sacrifice my time. The only thing you truly have of value is your time, and I'm going to give it to God. Lord Vishnu says, oh friend, from today onwards, never attack. Never go close and think of harming, attacking my devotee. Blessed is the person that listens to this discourse. By listening to the power that is a mass of the protection of Lord Vishnu, that the devotee could aim, gain and harness, hone in their worship. That person that is undergoing some stress, some development, some lesson is being learned, Lord Vishnu says, I shower my protection, and the blessing and the benefit of Goddess Lakshmi lives and imbibes with this person. What they don't pray for, what they don't ask for will come. All comfort, all happiness. Although they have it, they don't gripe over it. For example, people who do a lot of Pitri worship tend to have a lot of convenience, tend to have material wealth, but it is not their focus. It is as if, well, they have no value for it. You will see people say, I buy you the ring, the expensive ring, but like you care for it. The definition of a Swami, they will give away the gold. Now we are understanding why. The gold has Kali Yuga in it, and I don't want it. Why we're in this for? Me, I wonder where my wedding ring, put that in a cupboard. Me, bong for that. Get that away. Get it in it. Give it away. But Lakshmi will reward you, bring, so that you are never uncomfortable. So long as the person has food, grains, the comforts, the shelter, the different things, so the person would not have to worry where my next meal coming from, where my next food coming from, and they could focus on very easily giving dan. Charity. I want to give charity. How will I give charity if I need charity? How will I feed people when I don't have food for myself? Living in the right way. Amassing Lakshmi, she takes care of her children. Never Durvasa, never damn the devotee of Lord Vishnu. It allows the person to have the 4 sections, the 4 types of mukti. 1, Salokat Mukti is where you become a co-resident. Co-resident. I become a roommate. I live in the same way. I live in the same place with the Devta. So I become a Gana for Lord Shiva. I become a servant. I want to be a Sevaka. I want to be a servant. I want to be Hanuman to Sri Ram. I know my place. I'm at his feet with humility. I want to serve him. So I will become how we was talking about the Yamdut, the work of Yamraj, and Vishnu Dut. They look like Vishnu. I want to be the Vishnu Dut. I want to go and live in Vaikunt and be around him and be with him and never fall from that grace. Then there's no more crying and sadness when you have a child and you lose the child. When you have the child but the child stops talking to you. When you have the child and the child leaves the country and goes away to live, still friendly, but oh God, I wish I could get a hug up on Mother's Day. Constantly you're bombarded by gain, loss in this life. You know what? I want to be in a position where I have to go through this again. In the example, I was telling you in the village here where we lost this young child. You live, you see that. After a while, Pandit, I want to go through this again. You know. I don't think my heart could take this. To see another child die, to lose a child, to have a miscarriage. I don't think I could handle that pain. In the same way, life gives you things. According to our Dharma, this life starts to give you happiness, give you a house, give you the step to climb. What's this nice little walkway right here? So nice, it's carpeted, good. And then at some point, when life starts to take back all the relation, the spouse, the children, everybody's dying and leaving you. The same foot cannot even walk that little ramp right there. The same house you was fighting for and griping for. The same property, the step becomes a damning thing. Why I had to go up here? Why we didn't build this house flat? God. Nobody else I got damn your house. You got damn your own house. Pandit, I go in jag, pawn earring, pawn gold for people to see what I have. This, you're hiding it under your bed in a handkerchief. Truthfully, you can't wait in today's world. So what is the point of fighting for this? What are you doing? In a world where people are starving, children are homeless, hungry, abandoned. This is your focus where you can't even wear, where you cannot even use it. It cannot help you now, it can't help you after. This could quicker cause you to lose your finger, lose your life. Truthfully. This will only bring losses. Think about it. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. As we pause here, please remember the words of Lord Vishnu. If somebody says, why are you touching the shaligram? Why do you make your flowers mala? That is them walk upon it, them doing prayers day. Right there you lost marks. God didn't give them alone the breath of life. He gave it to you as well. When you get the opportunity, whilst the hands and feet work, while they're working, while the eyes working, thread the needle, take the flowers and dress him. It is a dig mass. Take a flower. He didn't bring the flower. He didn't get a chance. Pandit was very busy this morning. I agree. That is why we're doing it in the temple. We are doing it by one person house. It have a lot of flowers and tulsi leaves and all. There, look at her Arty waiting for you. 5 feet away. Go and do your Arty for your shaligram. It's right there. That shaligram where they on the baby, the nursing shaligram, we brought that from Nepal. The one on top, it have a little one when you go. A little one, a little circle like. That is called Abhayuk shaligram. Hold it in your finger like this and line it up with a bulb. And the funny thing with that shaligram, from black like this, mic black, you're going to see the light capture inside the stone. The stone starts to get very red, as if it's glowing. And it says that when people worship that shaligram, take the water from that shaligram. You see the things that cause your unrest, lose your peace of mind. You can't sleep, different things. I'm worried about this child. I'm worried about the bandit that is going to go. The anxiety is going. Touch that shaligram. Will you throw away the opportunity? This is the choice. Life is about choices. The ball is in your court. Please understand what Lord Vishnu is wishing for you. And when somebody says Bhagwat, I hope you are seeing slowly the lesson as we growing in Rikatha. We walking towards Krishna. We walking towards all the discourse. It's sweet, yes, Christian discourse sweet, but you have to get sweet first. You have to be ready for him. So when he come and everything start to hit you, you're going to be ready to accept that joy in your heart. Vindravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Let's all stand as we do final Arty, everybody. Karapura Gaudam Karunavataram Sansara Sadam Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayda Vinde Bhavam Bhavani Saitam Namami.
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से है तारती। जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से है तारती। ये अमर ग्रंथ, ये मुक्ति पंथ, ये पंचम वीर निराला, नवज्योति जगाने वाला। ये
अमर ग्रंथ, ये मुक्ति पंथ, ये पंचम वेद निराला, नवज्योति जगाने वाला।
हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही, हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही, जग के मंगल की आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती। जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से है तारती। ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत, श्रापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला।
ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत, पापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला।
है सुख करने, है दुख हरने,
you for giving me the strength, the help for those people that caring for sickly, older, the dementia, the Alzheimer's, the special needs children, and it truly is a test to even reach into the Yagyashala. For those of you watching at home, and just to sit with your phone to pray a little bit is a challenge. Dear Lord, dear Mother, thank you for allowing me the chance to listen to the discourse of Mahavishnu. Yet again, may you please purify this sinner and allow me to get the blessing just as Parikshit is purified in walking through Bhagwat. Allow me by the end of this spiritual course to be so ready and so charged for Krishna and the energy of Madhusudana to sit on my body. Bless my family, bless my home, bless my life, and bless me to be a better person, dear Lord. Tvameva Mata.
Chapita Tvameva.
Everybody. Tvameva Bandhuscha.
Saka Tvameva.
Tvameva Vidya.
Dravinam Tvameva.
Tvameva Sarvam.
Mama Deva Deva.
Tvameva Sarvam.
Mama Deva Deva.
Om Shanti.
Shanti.
Shanti. Hari Om. Prem Sabalo Mahapati Mahadeva ki. Pavana Putra Hanuman ki jai. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Jai Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody. Please have your seat. Panchamrit, Charan Amrit, Arty is coming around. For those of you getting ready to sit for puja, shortly, I went over, I apologize. Shortly, we are going to start with the midday session. For those of you that are departing, or those of you that are eating, as we step outside, meals have been prepared, your prasad is outside. And as we get ready, we are going to start, we're going to reset, and we're going to do it again. Everybody, Sitaram.